Hey y'all, it's Tiffany at A Different Chick Farm and Orchard, and we are hopefully on the tail end of putting this Farmer Friends tunnel up. For us, it's kind of been between working our auto repair shop and the stuff that has to get done on the farm, and good weather versus bad weather, and so forth. So Steve is putting the end walls on, and we're just going to shoot a little bit and show you what we've got going on. Okay, so Steven is up here and he has already installed part of this end wall kit right here. It does take a little bit of bending because they come in straight pieces.
If they may want to see this right here. This is bending this is the piece that we put in the middle. You center this piece and then that end just goes straight down. When you come to this side, we got to bend this down, and you want to bend it slow. We don't, it's aluminum. We don't want it to kink. Boy, and looking at that, I definitely got off center. So, you know what? We're just going to roll with it.
You'll know for the other side, right?
When you're working by yourself, sometimes you don't quite get everything. These tech screws are self-drilling. You can put them in with a regular drill, but this impact driver works very well. Spacing the screws about 12 to 14 inches apart.
As you can see, that's what the screw looks like. Doesn't go through the other end. They're specific screws that they actually sent from Farmer's Friend with this kit.
And if you need extras, you can pick these up at Lowe's or Home Depot also.
Or you can order them off Amazon, I'm sure. But you're most likely not going to get the quality. And every now and then you're going to get one that's a bad one. So just throw it away and get a new one. So he's gonna finish doing the rest of these, which will take a few minutes longer, but we're not going to bore you with every single one of them on the other side, and we'll come back momentarily when we are getting ready to put the end walls on. So we're back, and technically the sidewall is on, and we fully intended on making a video of this, but as you can see, the wind is blowing. Not bad, but it is blowing, and this could be a one-person job, but it was definitely a two-person job. So I think Steven's putting on the last little bit of wiggle wire over here.
Now see, we got some extra hanging over. We'll just cut that off. A pair of lineman pliers that come in handy here, but they're up in the house, so. Let me move the ladder. Just pop out the door.
There we got our end wall kit on.
We gotta get our pipes put in the flaps at the bottom. We gotta stake the ends. But after we get that done, we'll show you how the door rolls up. But we went with the roll-up door model. So you got a zipper on each side. Hopefully that zipper holds up pretty decent if we take care of it, I hope. Hopefully it outlasts the plastic on the tunnel, and then it'll come up and it's got its own little turnbuckle. There'll be one on that also. Right here on the inside, you see the little strap, dark right there. That'll come up and cinch the door up where you want it. So, one down, one to go.
Hey, it's Tiffany at a different chick farm and orchard, and we are continuing our day 2 of putting our farmer's friend up. Technically day, like, I don't know, over 60, 90, just because we put the structure up last fall, and we're just now putting the plastic and end walls up. So Steve is working on, I'll tilt my camera over that direction, trying to secure a way of us to be able to go over the other side of the tunnel, so we can get this thing put on. So I'll get back over there and help him, and hopefully we'll get this thing took care of.
Why don't you read instead of asking?
So just to tell you a little bit about how it's going thus far, if you wasn't able to tell, the wind can help and the wind can hurt. And so when the wind blows one direction then blows the opposite direction, it's not a good situation. So trying to pull the fabric over the edge was literally trying to pull like 150 pounds. So it was a bit tough. We did get that on there, but it is tough. So if you don't have a lot of muscles, you're probably going to need somebody that does, or some help. It is definitely not for the lighthearted, but we knew what we were going to get into, and we know that farming is a lot of hard work. So we're giving it our best shot to get this thing up today. It's biting us a little bit, but we knew it was going to. It wasn't going to be, you know, a super easy job, but it is what it is. So trying to take a broom, as you could probably see in the camera, and get the rest of some of that up there. Now ideally you don't want to use anything, but we're doing it anyway. So trying to be careful not to cause any holes, any damage to our plastic, and so far we've been good to not have any, so let's keep it that way. So just keep watching. I'm gonna flip you around to this end wall so you can watch us on this end too. Babe, we basically did it.
I think it's actually harder than it looks, just in case you can't see.
I told him it was like 150 pounds, like trying to pull on this stuff with the wind, so.
Now, as long as Tiffany don't blow away like the Wizard of Oz, we're good.
There's no place like home. There's no place like home. hanging out on top of a greenhouse. Nothing to see here. Am a little thirsty though. Sun's beating down. Like we are like the first week, actually like March 4th here. And we typically have like really cold temperatures in March, like somewhere around the highs of 40-ish, lows of like 20s, sometimes 30s. This weekend we're actually having near 80 temperatures and lows of like high 50s. So it is really weird for us, which is why I am in shorts and sleeveless, because it is really warm. And it's going to be really warm working the inside of this tunnel when we get it covered also. Thankfully, I tan quite easy, and I don't, actually, extremely rarely do I ever burn. So,
She's a freak.
yeah, I blame it on all of my ancestry.
For all of you that burn in the summer, feel free to dislike her strongly. I tan once I get a base. Other than that, I turn into a lobster. All right, Tiff, come down.
I mean, are you sure it could blow away?
I'm not sure. Nothing.
We're just going to hope it don't, right?
Right.
It's almost done, guys. And yes, we know it's not perfect, and one side's probably longer than the other, but we are just getting in place so we can actually perfect it and get it where it needs to be. But we don't want one side to blow away, so we'll adjust it as needed. Believe me, it's not going to be perfect. It'd be nice, but we're not perfect, and our high tunnel won't be either.
All right, Tiff, you want to pick the ladder back up?
The other side.
Other end.
I happen to know there's water on the other side.
All right. We're going to be going to the other end and trying to pull out some of the slack. And Tiffany's going to try to keep our plastic centered from side to side while I put the wiggle wire on. This plastic right here, probably going to have around 6 to 12 inches on each side. And so Tiffany's job is going to be to keep that centered while we set that up. And I'm gonna still drink her water while she's not looking.
I was the intelligent one that brought water. Okay, let's see what we're looking at.
Alright, what we got, Tiff?
Actually,
Real close?
you've only got about an inch difference.
Okay.
An inch more on this side than that side.
That's good.
I'd say that's good enough for me.
Now, unfortunately, we got to take the ladder back to the other end. Since we don't have two big ladders. If we had another helper, we would use the tractor and lift the loader up for someone to work on the other end. But we don't have that. So we'll do it the old-fashioned way. Manual labor and stupidity. Right, Tiff?
That's right.
Me and Tiffany work real well together. I mean, we never have disagreements, do we, babe?
No, never.
We never raise our voice at each other, do we?
I mean, I don't ever raise my voice at you.
Truthfully, she's probably only raised her voice at me 3 times since we've been married for 20 years. And that's pretty good.
It is.
But the problem is, you got to wonder about the quiet ones. What are they thinking?
I mean, sometimes it's a ticking bomb.
What is going on in their head? Are they about ready to explode and take out the whole neighborhood?
I mean, you know.
Or is it going to be confined to the husband?
You could ask our kids this question.
Yeah, who knows? Caught the stand on something. So, okay, the point of all that was to get everything partially straightened out. So now that we got that end where we know it can be, we're going to repeat the same thing on this end, and we should be pretty much squarish. I don't know if that's a word. It's my word, squarish. And then I can start putting the wiggle wire in place. I was teasing Tiffany about it this morning, and we've got 2 small twin wall polycarbonate greenhouses, and when we got them we was like, wow, that's huge, because they're 14.5 foot by 24.5 foot long. Well, this is 14 foot wide by 100 foot long, so it's basically the size of 4 of them. So I asked her what she's going to plant in it. She had ideas like that. She's going to fill it up pretty fast. We know one thing's going in it. We're going to do 2 rolls of tomatoes the whole length of the greenhouse. Probably 150 slicers slash paste tomatoes. Probably end up being 100 slicers, 50 paste type, and 50 cherry tomatoes. Probably what we're going to end up with. And then we're going to do some underfilling on that too. We'll do a video on it. I got to get up the ladder before we get blown away.
I need about 7 inches over here. It's all on that side.
I knew you wanted 7 or 8. Always. Want more. I saw that before we went up. I said, huh, took that further than I thought it would.
Yeah. You kept pulling and I wasn't going to say anything.
It should be this line over here. So pull it towards you. Should be right about there. That's the center crease in the plastic.
Probably. Yeah. Every time the wind blows,
Now this isn't like a regular greenhouse that you're trying to stretch the plastic pipe. We have ropes for that. And if you actually stretched all the slack out of it, it wouldn't be good. But we do want it somewhat tight.
Yep, I'd say that's about perfect.
All right, Tiff, would you go over here and pull down in the middle?
Yep.
That's good. Yeah. Wiggle wire on this baby. Give me a little slack. Let's have more slack. You can let go. Now, come over here, Tiff. Right above your head.
Okay.
Pull kind of down and come over here. Let's get this side same way. Go on, yeah, you got slack on it. We'll pull down on that side. There we go. And a piece of wiggle wire. And I'm going to start this next piece, and then unfortunately we got to go back to the other end again. It's where we really wished we had two ladders.
It'd be nice.
But these big ladders are expensive. And you got to watch your budget, because buying too much of something just to make things easier can make your budget really strain somewhere else. And we just have to keep an eye on it.
If you've never dealt with wiggle wire, it is really annoying when it gets entangled. Not easy to untangle.
That's pulled. Tiffany has to watch her eyes, because I got to watch the wiggle wire and myself, not her.
And nobody wants their eye put out on the greenhouse high tunnel. Not fun at all. And nobody has time to go to the ER.
Nope, no time for ER around here.
That's all we tell our kids all the time. Don't get hurt. We don't have time to go to the ER.
All right, Tiff, get us another piece of wiggle wire. We'll do this side the same way, and we'll go over here.
And we only live like 3 minutes from the main hospital. So it's not that big of a deal, but it also takes you, regardless how many people's in there, it takes you like 5 hours to actually get back to see a doctor. So
Go ahead and stop the video. Tell me you're going to stop the video. You'll bring them back when we get ready to finish up.
okay, we're going to stop the video now because the next part's just going to be redundant and boring. So we'll be back just momentarily.
Well, to say that it's been a challenging experience would be an understatement.
Amen to that.
Tiffany said amen to that. I guess you realize that at nearly 50 years old, you're not quite the man you used to be. But also, the wind had some play to do with it. It wore a slap dab out for a while. So I won't do this again on a day where there's going to be any wind. And we've had some pretty good little wind gusts, but most of it's just been small breezes, strong breezes. I mean, I wouldn't call it heavy wind, but it's been strong breezes. But that being said, we're almost done. I had to call in reinforcements. My daughter Alyssa, we drug her away from, I think, ministry training.
No, I finished that.
She had just finished her ministry training, and we drug her away right afterwards. So I got to pay her off with a trip to go watch the Batman, which I was going to go watch anyway. So it's not that big of a deal, and I get to spend time with my wonderful daughter. So we've had a few little mishaps. If you look behind me, you'll see that I got the side-by-side tied off to the greenhouse. The wind was lifting this end. It actually bent. Let me turn you around and show you. Oh! And I'm sore as all get out. The wind actually bent our purlin right there. So after we get it all together, I got to straighten that out, and I'll put something in there to reinforce it. Not sure what I'm going to do. I may even replace that section. That's a very short piece of a chain link fence top rail. So I may go buy a piece and replace that. I think I can do it. Luckily, there wasn't no major damage. But as you can see, it is enclosed. It's kind of strange in here right now. It's a little bit cooler in here than it is outside. Now, I'm sure that's going to change as the sun goes down. But let's go outside here. Oh. I didn't want to leave y'all hanging. We promised you some video. So we've been hydrating with some H2O. Alyssa and Tiffany are pulling this section of rope here. We already got the one section pulled. We got to tighten it up once we get it all pulled. Alyssa is struggling just like I did, because what we figured out was we should have took the time to turn the turnbuckles out instead of letting them be wherever we dropped them at, because it's a pain in the neck afterwards. So it is virtually done. We'll come back sometime next week and trim the plastic and get started tilling inside, get it ready to go. This tree will have to be moved. Take you down. Let's see if you can see how tired Tiffany is by her face, because I know how tired I am. It's a job on two old folks, and Tiffany ain't even as old as me.
I mean, I'll be 41 this year, so. Yeah, I figured.
Tiffany got some sun today. So, all right, we'll bring you back. Girls, are y'all as glad we're done as I am?
I'm beyond thankful.
We still got to trim some plastic. We got to get some sandbags to put on these corners. I don't like the way they sit, and unfortunately we got a couple of holes in it that we're going to have to patch, but we got some tape already for that, so we'll get that done. So, Tiffany, are you glad it's done because the work is done, or are you glad it's done because it's time to head to the next phase of work next week?
Both.
Well, y'all have a wonderful one, because we're calling it for the day. We're all tired. See ya. God bless you.